I guess this is like a question. Hopefully, like, just stay with me for a second. Like, what does it mean to be a hater? Like, what does that actually mean? Like, what do you have to have? Because there's certain things about being jealous. Like, we could talk about jealousy, right? Like, um, so like let me. I'm gonna actually look up the word and we can like read it together, just to see like if we're kind of talking about if this is making sense. So like, being jealous. Being jealous is like a feeling of showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. Hmm. Well, it seems like I don't know. I definitely didn't think like that many people would care about my Halle Bailey video, and I think that some people are misinterpreting it as like hate or jealousy, and I don't feel that way because I'm actually like a Halle and Chloe supporter. I don't like Chloe's music as an independent artist. I also don't like Halle's music as an independent artist. But Chloe and Halle together as a group, I actually really like them. And I actually enjoyed the Little Mermaid movie, so I don't really feel hate for, and not like I don't think that she's in a toxic relationship with DDG, so like I don't have any negative things to say about that. I saw though that a content creator had come on and talked about like her physical appearance and certain things that he said I directly agreed with. And so I made a video about it because like to me it was kind of giving a bit too much of the like I go to a poor black school and like let's do the playground talk. And I made another video about this, but then my audio cut out. But here's the thing, like, and I've said this before, a lot of black people unfortunately aren't able to like have serious conversations about aesthetics, especially like beauty and aesthetics. Like, why is it that every single like all the like not all of them, but quite a lot of the like African like artists, the black artists that we are seeing like being pushed around are coming with like the lace front weaves. They've got like they aren't basically playing up any of their like natural beauty at all. Like they're literally just like changing to become something else, and we know that they're not that. And so it's like that loses the whole aesthetic appeal. Don't get me wrong, because I'm not saying like don't wear makeup. I think like a good eyeshadow, a good eyeliner or something could really like make a face pop, or especially like if you're a pop girl and you're coming with like clothes or something. Like there's a million ways that you could like play up like your own aesthetic. But the other thing that is very strange, we've had like, and this has been happening for a very long time with YouTube, like all girls who, especially like tween girls, when they're trying to get into like being girly and being feminine, you know, they start putting on all this makeup and they're like playing around with makeup. Now, all girls are not pretty. This is like, how do you say this? I guess they're like varying levels of pretty, but like all pretty isn't the same. There's like high levels to it, like a hierarchy to it. Now, I turned off the comments for that video because I don't want people who found my channel to be influenced negatively by the comments. Though I think I might put like an email address if people really feel the need to like get their comments off of their chest and like, you know, convey them to someone. Like I love reading the negative comments are hilarious to me. I actually share them in group chats. Like they're good. Like some of these are like really good. Some of you guys should go into comedy. It's pretty great. But then there's like the real world, and that's a part of like I do feel like an audience that I'm really trying to target is like poor black girls, like just poor black girls as an audience that I really hope one day finds some of my content. I really hope, like, my fingers are crossed. I don't know if I'll get there, but or women who grew up like lower middle class and are just trying to understand like a lot of like cultural things about being middle class or like upper middle class. People who are like that, who have kind of questions, because I feel like there's all these things like I didn't really notice until like I kind of like left my community in a sense. I feel like when I left high school, there were just too many culture shocks that like just nobody ever talked about. And like as I got older, and it was really freaky because there wasn't any buffer period. And when people see themselves as like culturally white or black, then it's just like what they've been pushed out by like songs and culture and music videos and stuff. That is legitimately what they, so like if a white girl makes a song about coffee or something, now all white girls believe they invented coffee. If a black girl makes songs about a lipstick or something, now all black girls believe they invented lipstick. It's weird that I'm saying that like that, but I swear that's kind of how it goes. And so some of the comments were kind of like, I don't understand how you're making comments about Halle Bailey when you look like that. This is what this. It was kind of like that sentiment was some of the comments were saying, right? And I don't like how I wish people would go a little further than that. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, whatever your personal opinions are on my looks, don't change they're not like influencing my opinions about how I feel about Halle Bailey's looks. Also, I feel like I can call myself like brown skin, and Halle Bailey's brown skin. We don't really look very similar. I know that's hard to believe. You're like, wait, what? No, like, yep, we don't look alike. I'm not here to make some objective or subjective decision to you personally about like who's attractive, who's not attractive, who's got what, and who like in the facial analysis of attractiveness. Oh well, Olivia's not attractive and Halle is attractive, and this is what we all think, and I have all that. Like, you can feel whatever way you feel. Everything that I said in the last video, I stand by it. Like, in one day, I haven't changed my opinion. I would also just like to be very clear here. Like, I think that like some of the things that I'm saying, they're holding weight from like a standpoint of, I don't want to call it like mainstream society, but like kind of like it's like mainstream society. I'm not pulling this shit out of thin air just because like someone has more influence or more money or power. Like it's not changing like your like base level of like attractiveness to the general population. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is very difficult for black women because we have had so many examples of unattractive black women being just pushed out every day. They are pushed out to everybody all fucking day long, and like nobody pushes back. So you have like normalized ugly black women in society. So there's nothing I can do about that. Like, I'm not gonna try to like reform images of stuff, like, because I do think that just going online, you can also find enough images of like attractive black women that it could kind of like, you'd be like, oh, okay, some aren't, you know, like every other group. And I was going somewhere with this. Oh, I want to talk for a second about like facial fat. Like right now, I have a lot of face. Like all of this is facial fat, right? It's just fat. When you gain weight in your face too. Like all that, it's just fat. Sometimes the amount of facial fat that you have will kind of sort of change your level of attractiveness. Like, you could be a little bit not very attractive if you could be not very attractive and just have facial fat and lose your facial fat. Like, you guys can watch my facial fat kind of melt over the next few months. Probably gonna lose it. And we can see maybe my facial features will now make me attractive. I will also say this. I think it's just very funny. Like, I don't know what it is about I've said this before. I don't know what it is about my bone structure and like the facial attractiveness, but it is very high. Like, it is very very symmetrical and very like desirable. And I know this because I keep getting reached out to by plastic surgeons who are, other people are like bringing my photos to them to like get bone surgery or like things shaved off to look like me. So I don't know, like if I'm not trying to influence anyone, please nobody get your face shaved or anything. Like I'm not trying to encourage anyone to do that. But I'm just saying I know that like people who are into like aesthetics and who are into like facial symmetry and health and how that plays out. Like I've made other um videos on here about Stormy Reed, and I don't know, maybe she got plastic surgery because like the pictures I've seen recently, they look better than what she looked before. So maybe, maybe not. It doesn't really matter though. The point is like before she got the surgeries or whatever she got or didn't get, she looked like she has Down syndrome. Like she looked really like her. She had some things that are like tilted and slanted, some bones that were off. You know, there's a lot of things that go into attractiveness and health. Like I've never had any like, you know, work done on my teeth, but you guys see how they're like all in line. I've never had any braces or anything. It's genetics. Causes your like bones to come out straight, and see how your eyes are like it's genetics. It's a thing. And so while some people are putting on makeup and hair weaves and filters and all type of shit to make it seem like they are like the way you were born and the way you start really makes a difference. And the other video got like clipped out, so I couldn't like technically show you this. But let's see if it actually pulls up right now. There was a video of Krishan Rock and her son, and her son doesn't look very good. This is the point. It looks like he might have some sort of like he doesn't look well. He looks a little bit deformed, like he might have some sort of syndrome, right? Like healthy babies don't have their eyes that wide apart, if you can see it. I know like it's kind of awful to be like making fun of people's babies, but like you can kind of see it. It looks like I don't know if it matters or if it will. I think that Krishan and her family will be okay. I think that they have the resources to get support for whatever things that her son might or might not be dealing with. But a lot of those issues, they are they're in your genes, right? Like and they are passed on genetically to your offspring. Um, some people are saying that it's because of alcohol. It might be because of alcohol. It might be because of some defective gene that Blueface had, and he handed it off to the child. Just because one child doesn't have something, the other child can. That's how genetics works. Or it could be something that Krishan had, and she handed it down. I'm saying that to just kind of maybe make Black women a little bit more aware of the fact that like having a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby is like not really something to like take advantage, and or not something to it isn't something that comes easily. Like a lot of people are going to be born and have issues like that. And like I think it's really important for Black women to start to understand that like there are Black men out here who have like genetic defective traits that are going to cause their kids to come out like that. That's real. That's just one example. And the reason that I started talking about like Stormy Reed and like what is Halle Bailey, right? And talking about the way they haven't had any maybe Stormy's had surgery, I don't know. But I don't think Halle's had any surgery, and like she has children now. We're gonna like maybe not today, but like when as her children grow up and grow older, we're gonna see how they look, right? And like it doesn't necessarily mean that because you look a particular way that it's going to necessarily impact your intelligence or like your life chances necessarily, But it's also not going to be like people who are bluntly unattractive now, we're just going to start calling them attractive because they have money. And there are places and things that like we need attractive black people to exist. And it's just becoming really strange to me because we're not putting attractive black people in places. We're putting like uglier black people in places. And then some of the attractive black people are just like leaving the black community. So then there's no more black people who are just attractive. It's just like unattractive black people who are trying to like level up and get something that's like better. But then like you need like two attractive black people like Sabrina Elba, Idris Elba coming together and like making something that's all I'm gonna say about this topic for now. I think you got the gist of where I'm going.